A very good morning to everyone. Today we are going to understand, learn arithmetic operations of vector. First, in this topic, we are going to study the multiplication of vectors by real numbers. Multiplication of vectors by real numbers. This is our topic to deal first on today. If we consider a positive number lambda, positive number is equal to lambda, and our vector is a, means a vector. Then multiplication of vector, that means lambda times vector a is equal to lambda vector a if lambda more than 0. Means if we multiply a vector a with lambda, a positive number, then the overall resultant vector will be lambda times a. What we can say that here, and only magnitude can be increased by the lambda times, but the direction will remain same as the direction of a. If we multiply vector a with a positive number lambda, gives vector of magnitude by of a magnitude lambda times vector a, magnitude lambda times vector a, but the direction will remains as a. Now if we take minus of lambda a, means minus of lambda times vector a if lambda less than 0, means only direction will be opposite, to that of the vector a. Means if the vector a has the direction from left to right, then lambda a minus lambda a has the direction will be from rightwards to leftwards. Notice what the factor lambda by which a vector a is multiplied could be a scalar having its own physical dimension, having its own physical dimension, then the dimension of lambda a is the product of the dimension of lambda and a. For example, if we multiply a constant velocity vector by duration of time, we get displacement. That means if we have velocity vector is going to multiply by time, is if we multiply it with a constant duration of time, then we get it what? Displacement vector. That means that means a velocity vector when multiplied by time gives the displacement vector. Here velocity has own dimension, time has own dimension. When we multiply to each other together to get the displacement having own dimension. Vector addition and subtraction. Let's consider we have two vectors. Vector A and vector B. If we have two vectors and we have to find what? Vector A plus B. How it is going to find? For A plus B, we have to place vector B, we have to place vector B so that its tail yani tail of vector B is at the head of vector A. Then we join the tail of vector A to the head of vector B. This joining of tail of vector A to head of the vector B gives A plus B vector. Means if this is our vector A and this is our vector B, then this gives our vector A plus B. Here we put vector B, here we put the tail of vector B on the head of vector A, and finally we connect the tail of vector A with the tail of vector A to the head of vector B. This is also called head to tail method. This is called what? Head to tail method. Some note points. Vector addition is commutative. Vector addition is commutative, means A plus B is equal to B plus A. First point. Second point, vector addition is associative. Vector addition is associative. Means A plus B plus C is equal to A plus B plus See, here one more vector to understand is null vector. Null vector. If we add two equal and opposite vector, we get null vector. One vector is A and other vector is minus of A, means have the minus of A means vector A has the magnitude is equal to the positive A vector, but the direction is opposite to the vector A. Then we get the null vector. Null vector has the magnitude is equal to 0. Null vector has the magnitude is equal to 0. This is first way to get the null vector. And second way to get the null vector is what? If we multiply a vector, with 0, I means second method is if we multiply a vector with 0, means a vector is multiplying with 0 gives 0. This 0 is the magnitude of a null vector. Property again, third point in the property of a null vector is if we add a null vector with a vector, always gives the magnitude of the vector. For example, a question is here taken here. Rain is falling vertically with a speed of 35 meter per second. Winds starts blowing after some time with a speed of 12 meter per second in east to west direction. In which direction should a boy waiting at bus stop hold his umbrella? I am going to solve this question. First, we form a map. This is our north direction, this is our south direction, this is our east direction, and this is our west direction. Now we are going to now I am going to read this question twice. Rain is falling vertically with a speed of 35 meter per second. If I am here going to make a proper diagram with the reading with the question. Rain is falling vertically with a speed of 35 meter per second, means this is our direction of rain falling, means this is called VR, means rain velocity. Wind starts blowing after some time with a speed of 12 meter per second in east to west direction. East to west direction means east to west direction. VR is given here 35 meter per second. This value is equal to how much? 35 meter per second, and this value is given how much? 12 meter per second. This is our V wind velocity. Again, in the question, this is asking us in which direction should a boy waiting at a bus stop holding his umbrella. Two velocity are here. The first we have to calculate the resultant. This is our resultant velocity. Resultant velocity making an angle theta with the rain. I mean north to south direction. How this resultant will be calculated? R is equal to under root V R square plus B W square, means BR, the value of BR is how much? 35 square plus 12 square. This value in meter per second, this value is we are going to calculate it as 37 meter per second. The resultant vector has the magnitude as 37 meter per second. If the direction theta that r makes with the vertical given as the direction of theta with the vertical is given as, how it is given as, tan theta is equal to VW upon VR. Why? Because tan theta is equal to perpendicular upon base. This value is how much? 12 upon 35. This 12 upon 35 means how much? 0.343343. So theta is equal to tan inverse 0.343. This is near about 19 degree. The conclusion is what? The boy should hold his umbrella at an angle near about 19 degree with vertical towards east. Thank you. Like, share and subscribe. Have a nice day.